Hello everyone, JamieStarr here with the New World News Network. On today we're going to talk about a new and exciting level of social justice nonsense. Geometric appropriation. Now, for those who have been living under a rock, this past week Donald Trump tweeted out this picture of Hillary Clinton, most corrupt candidate ever, and immediately there was an uproar because the shape of the star in the picture. It's a six-pointed star. And if you didn't know, geometric appropriation happened. For a quick recap, the six-pointed star has been claimed by the Jews. It can only be used by the Jews. If anyone else tries to use it, you are trying to appropriate Jewish culture, and if you're not Jewish, well then it's only anti-Semitic. It can only be viewed as anti-Semitic. Here's the other list. The five-point star, also known as the pentagram, well, that's been taken by Satanists. So, only Satanists are allowed to use that. The octagon, I believe MMA and Ultimate Fighting, although they aren't a culture or an ethnicity, they're trying to place claims on that. It's up for debate. Cubes and squares, Muslims, obviously. They got a giant black cube in Mecca, so squares off the table. Can't have squares anymore unless if you're Muslim. The cross, obviously. Christians. And, the Illuminati, they claim the triangle. Pyramids, no more pyramids. So, all the shapes, pretty much, you're just left with circles. We're going to change the American flag, everyone. We're going to be taking the stars off of it because, that's obviously we can't have the satanic states of America. We're going to replace it with little emojis for each thing. I'm from New York, obviously an Apple emoji, but we'll figure that out. We got a ways to go. And we have to make sure that the flag is, social justice approved, obviously. Now, this is going to cause a bit of problems in our high school geometry classes, so instead of teaching about angles or, measurements and the algebra of finding out the angles, we're just going to teach the cultural implications of the shapes. So, when we have the six-point star class, we're going to talk about David, Star of David, Judaism, and all that fun stuff. Math is off the table. Who needs to know about math anyway? Because it's not like society stuff, and you don't want to geometrically appropriate something. I think circles are pretty much the only shape left. So, within the backlash to this, and obviously it's all nonsense, because, Trump's daughter married a Jewish guy. She converted. Trump has large amounts of Jewish support. But, of course, all the standard stream of douchebags have come out. Paul Ryan, who always is out here, I don't get this. He comes out one day and is like, I support Trump. He's the leader of the Republican Party. And then every time I turn around, this little douchebag, and he looks like he's like cousins with Trudeau or something. He comes out and he's always saying, Trump, I can't believe he did this, having to make excuses or apologies for it. And he's like, how dare Trump use the Star of David? This is obviously anti-Semitic images have no place in a campaign. It wasn't a swastika. Oh, of course, the swastika claimed by the Nazis. Let's not forget. Just this whole candidates should know this. I really believe he's got to clean up the way his new media works. This picture was just on a fucking, anti-Hillary site, and he just reposted it, thinking nothing of it. His team came out and said that it was a six-pointed star like that of in a sheriff badge, which I would say the same thing, the six-pointed star is not exclusively Jewish, but, of course, David Duke has decided to pop his head back out of the woodwork and say, there's no way. Now, let me tell you, David Duke, even a broken clock is right twice a day. So, David Duke, despite his past and everything else, there's a lot of things he say where he has some valid points. I don't think the problems of the world can just all be chalked up to Jews, but do I think Israel influences America too much and gets way more, financial aid than other countries if you were to try to balance it? Yes. Could there be reasons why? Maybe. Who knows? That's a whole different debate. But of course, the thing is David Duke sees a Jewish conspiracy everywhere. So, why would he not, of course, assume it's the Star of David? So, he comes out and just sort of says, Clinton, she's getting this much money. She's obviously the corrupt candidate and everything like that. But yet 20% of Clinton's campaign is being funded by Saudi Arabia. So are we going to have like the little, crescent moon and sickle or star, whatever the Saudi Arabian flag are? I mean, is that symbol now going to be tied to Hillary Clinton? This is so ridiculous. And for someone who likes to point out that there's a fair amount of symbolism. The world is governed by symbols. Symbols are just as, if not more powerful than letters and numbers and everything like that. But this is ridiculous. Like, this is making mountains out of molehills just left and right. I mean, and they are really just trying to portray Trump as having a, racist, sexist problem against everyone except white people, I would assume. But I mean, eventually they're going to run out of people to offend, and they're going to have to say that he's anti-white somehow. So, David Duke says, it shows a Star of David. No, it shows a 6-pointed star. There's probably an actual term for that, like, how we have octagons and parallelograms and, whatever. We have a situation right now where Trump is being absolutely pummeled for, guess what? Posting a tweet that shows Hillary Clinton with a big, and in the midst of thousands of hundreds of dollars, and a big Star of David, and the words, most corrupt candidate ever, Duke said. And Trump tweets this, Hillary Clinton, the most corrupt candidate ever. Now, of course, the media immediately came out and said this was anti-Semitic. But of course, it's all true. We're not talking about something that's not true. David Duke said, Jewish extremists were supporting Clinton. They probably are. Who those Jewish supremacists are? I don't know. But, she gets lots of Saudi extremists. So everything in the tweet Donald Trump retweeted about his campaign retweet was absolutely correct. Absolutely right. He said it was important everyone vote for Trump because even though he wasn't strong on these issues, he was the only thing they had against Hillary Clinton. So, even there, David Duke, despite him trying to see this Jewish link in it, he's still admitting that there's a fair amount of, truth being said here, that it's, regardless of the symbol or not. But anyway, I made this video to talk about fucking geometric appropriation, not these other people, because that's the bigger issue. That's what's going on here. Geometric appropriation. The Pavlovian idea that you see this symbol, it means this. It only means this. That's the other part. It can only be that. Like, it can't just be a 6-pointed star like a sheriff's badge. I mean, I guess we got to change sheriff's badges now because they're obviously anti-Semitic, unless if they're Jewish. So, geometric appropriation. Watch yourself with them shapes, fool. Subscribe to the channel. Check my other links. Do what you do. Have a good one. It's JamieStarr.